okay, my brother. Hope you are well too.
I am also doing well. Explain to us what your concerns are when it comes to the matter of the president's use of his brother's private jet.
Let me say good morning to your viewers and listeners. It's very sad, very, very sad. The glaring hypocrisy, the lack of candor, humility by the NDC, and very sadly, my very good brother, Inusa Husseini, very respected. I respect him so much. I'm saddened that he's the one they have deployed to come and defend this rather hypocritical conduct by the NDC, the president, because all those people who spoke against the use of presidential jets, leased or whatever, by Akufo-Addo, they spoke for him. They spoke on his behalf, on behalf of the NDC. So for me, it's a sad day in Ghana where people are telling us, the president's men are telling us what they are doing, which we find objectionable. They're saying it's okay. We should take it. And they are asking us what really is wrong with the president using his brother's jet, that we should take it without, being angry about it, without being unhappy with it, that this is happening. I mean, it's sad. The hypocrisy, okay?
What is the
Lack
problem?
of respect for the sensibilities of Ghanaians. When yesterday you were making a point in this country that the use of private jets by the president was bad, and that it was costing the state, and that the president should use the state flyer, which was in pristine condition. You heard them, they used that word, it was in pristine condition. Why was Akufo-Addo using, renting private jets to fly or to go and do state business? I hear my brother Blackwell was all over the place, became an aviation expert, telling us how many hours the Falcon can fly, and you stay there and you change for fuel and whatnot, and he became an expert overnight. Then today, they are the ones telling us that there is no problem at all. You're telling us that it is okay. I think I find that very hypocritical and disrespectful of our sensibilities. That, for me, is not a thing that my good brother Inusa Husseini should be defending. He should concentrate on his contribution to the economy, which I know is in agriculture, and he's investing his time and making real contribution, not on this jet matter.
Okay,
is
so
beneath him.
I think you've made that point. I just wanted to understand. So break down the concerns for us. What is the issue here?
Okay, so my senior told you that there is no conflict of interest that arises. The whole thing is a conflict of interest position. It's a conflict of interest from beginning to end. Okay. Number two, they tell us that he's not paying anything. It is not paying anything. Why don't we know exactly the terms under which he's using it? They tell us on one breath the plane is just free. He's paying for fuel, landing, and all of that. How much are those? How much are we paying for that? How much are we paying for that? Nobody should create the impression for us that the state cannot afford for the president to travel. Because practically, if the state cannot afford for the president to travel, then it means that he cannot travel. But if we normalize the situation where a president has a friend, has a brother who has a jet, because once we normalize this, another president will come tomorrow. His brother may not have a jet, okay, but his friend somewhere may have a jet. They've already been friends since kindergarten, so therefore it's okay for him to use his private jet to go and do business. We should actually be clapping for his friend for giving that aircraft. But that provides access. that blurs the lines between his professional work and his private relationship with the brother or the friend. Right now, we know that they are brothers, but the lines are further blurred by the crossing over of assets of his personal jet to the state domain, as though that he is part of the state, but he's not. He's separate and distinct from the state. I'm talking about Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S. So when people come to associate the use of his private jet, okay, I'm making this point, and I want you to listen closely. If people come to associate the use of that particular jet, I don't know the full credentials of that jet, okay? People come to associate that jet to the president. And tomorrow, the president is not flying that jet. And Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S is flying that jet for his own private stuff that he's going to do elsewhere. That jet perhaps will be accorded presidential liberties. Are you with me?
Will be accorded presidential liberties.
Yes. Because,
but do jets
sorry?
get accorded presidential liberties, or the person in the jet is the one who's accorded the presidential liberties?
But I'm saying that, and that's why I say you should listen closely. Now, because it is his jet being used by the President of the Republic of Ghana, when people come to associate that plane with the President of the Republic of Ghana, that he uses it, when that plane is flying right now to South Korea, high probability is that it will be accorded that presidential liberty.
How?
Because the president of Ghana uses it and they say it's his brother.
Okay.
So that could be accorded. Imagine you and I, because I come to your studio, you know me, and you hear in your studio, maybe you've locked it, and perhaps let's assume you don't have a camera to see people before you let them into your studio. And then, there's a knock and they say, who is there? And so it's Richard. And the voice sounds like me. You let the person in just because the person says it's Richard. Richard comes here and he's safe. But because somebody I bring there knows how to make his way to your studio, uses my name, he has access. But this point I am making is key.
Are you not simplifying the way
officialdom, which is the state domain of Ghana, can now become available to Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S by virtue of the president's use of that flight and people associating it with him? Because
Richard, are you not simplifying the way in which states work? Richard, everywhere you travel to, even before you move, you have to give that state foreknowledge that I'm coming. It's not the jet you are flying in that is important to the state. It's the person in the jet that they cater to, not the jet. So this one doesn't even have the insignia of Ghana. You're suggesting that just because the president flew... So are you saying that when President Akufo-Addo was flying in those private jets, when he does not use those private jets and those private jets land anywhere else, they'll be given the same liberties that President Akufo-Addo was giving them? Is that what you're suggesting?
That's a high probability. It's a high probability because, one, that jet, that it's above a certain reproach. That jet, the history of it, okay, is that it carries respectable people. Okay, respectable people in the person of the President of the Republic of Ghana. Okay, if you find somebody in my company, if I find somebody in your company, when I see that person elsewhere, okay, I treat that person with respect because of the company the person is in that I saw. It's a class thing. So it puts that private jet in a certain class, which is a benefit of the state association to it.
Okay, so you knew all this and you were defending because at the time, you didn't raise these issues, did you? With President Akufo-Addo's private jet, you didn't recognize this issue, did you?
Let me tell you
that you were carrying these jets that he was using, which were not even this one. You can say belongs to a Ghanaian, but this ones are foreign.
It has nothing to do with who it belongs to.
I'm saying that are foreign. The ones that he was using are foreign. and carries all kinds of people, just like you are suggesting.
Yeah.
Now, you were using this jet, concerns were raised. You knew that the argument you are making, that certain things can be accorded.
You are depressing, you are depressing the conversation by going all those routes that you're going. What is before us today?
What am I saying that you haven't said?
No, I'm not saying you said anything that we haven't said, but what we have said yesterday is of no material benefit for what presently we are going through.
Really?
Yes. We have a country.
Because you are comparing the arrangements as same.
Just hold on. I understand everything you are trying to say. You and I, we understand the context in which this conversation is taking place. You don't have to remind me. I'm fully aware. Okay? Now, here's what I'm trying to tell you. What was said yesterday is gone.
Oh, and what was done yesterday?
Sena, wait.
Mr. Ahiagba, what you are saying is that the private jets that President Akufo-Addo used up to today will be given the same recognition because it was flown by, at the time when President Akufo-Addo was flying them, and he stopped using them because we had raised the complaints. You are saying that they would have been accorded the same privileges.
I'm telling you, the high possibility exists for that plane now, whether you believe it or not. I'm saying that by associating that flight with the President of the Republic of Ghana, that plane is likely to enjoy certain liberties that is likely to happen if another person flies it.
Richard, you have been closer to government than I have, and I'm sure you know a little more.
Is
that how it works?
Disruption, please allow me to make my point. Your viewers, your listeners would make the judgment.
No, I think you made your point abundantly clear because I wanted to understand.
I listened to your interview with Honorable Idris Aposeni. Okay, so allow me to make the point. Otherwise, there's no point me coming on the line. You called me this morning to speak, not to be interrupted. Okay, please.
No, but it be also on me to ask the questions.
Let me finish what my thought, then you can ask me. But this whole thing you're doing, I don't appreciate it. If you don't want me to speak, then I can just drop the line.
No, go ahead. But as and when I can ask some questions. Yes.
Okay, it's too much, respectfully. So here's the point I'm making to you. The flight that the president is using, which is of his brother, has cost associated to that.
Okay.
It's not only the rental. There are other costs associated to that. We don't know that. The NDC in opposition told us that the Falcon, which is a state flyer, is in pristine condition. Suddenly, they say it's not in pristine condition. So the president will have to resort to using his brother's aircraft. And we say that that is a conflict of interest situation. It's blurring the lines between officialdom and familiar relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. It is problematic. The idea that because it is his brother's flight that he's using, we should accept it. And we say no, it is wrong. And the NDC and state machines, including the government spokesperson, Phyllis Kwachofosu, going about asking us what is really wrong with that. It's offensive because we're saying that we're a country. We're not a family corporation. We're a state, distinct and independent from the individuals who run it and who are friends with those who run it. And so if we are a state, let's behave like a state. Let's not behave like a family. This is not a family situation. So the use of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S flight to fly his brother on official assignment is problematic. Say, for example, if the president was going on a family vacation and is in with his brother and they are going, maybe that's their own private enterprise. But when he's going to do state business, we don't think that is the right way to do it. So they should just listen and stop trying to tell us that we are not feeling a certain pain. We are not happy about that. And it is not about saving us money. Some are saving us money because what the president is going to do will return benefit for the state. And so what is this whole idea that, Ghana is not incurring any loss? What does that even mean? What does that mean? It is wrong. It is not proper. It is not what ought to be done. So they should stop it. and not deploy very fine people like my brother to come and defend this indefensible situation. That's what we're saying. And for you, Sena, where you are going to, telling us or telling me about what positions were mounted yesterday in defense of Akufo-Addo's use of a private jet, it's untenable, because that conversation was had. Ghanaians were given opportunity to give a verdict on that, which included mine or our defense of Akufo-Addo's position, defense of Akufo-Addo to use that flight. Ghanaians gave a corporate decision on that, which decision was that the NDC position won. So if their position won yesterday, why are they repeating this situation so much that you are referring to yesterday? Yesterday is gone. What they are doing is assuming by virtue of the election result, the NDC had won that debate yesterday. Then we expect that they will do better. They will do consistent with what they said yesterday, which won them the debate. If we're to build a state that moves forward, we are not to be going back, creating all this blurred situation where we think and know clearly that conflict of interest is conflict of interest. You can't dress it anyhow. You can't just polish it and make it look any different. It is what it is. Okay? So we are saying that what they are doing, his brother's flight, using his brother's flight, is completely out of norm.
Okay, so two questions to land. First one, you said conflict of interest is conflict of interest. I'm sure you are familiar with our conflict of interest rules. Which one have they breached?
So you can have all your rules and keep it. What I'm trying to, I'll define for you what conflict of interest means in its essence.
Okay.
It is where your private interest, comes in sharp contrast with your professional judgment and objectivity. Okay? Now, in this situation, you see it play out where people now don't even see the difference between the president and his brother. They think that his brother's assets should be made available to the state. So what if you see the brother, leveraging that proximity, which has now become normalized as a people, and the brother making a decision, taking liberty to make a decision in his brother's place, who is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the president, about certain things, because now the two of them have become one for us. He can then exercise presidential power, because once people are exercising presidential power, they don't wear a certain suit and tie. It's not a certain voice that it comes in. But because him and his brother have become one, it will become possible for him to conflict that relationship and exercise certain presidential liberties that people will not even differentiate between, and NDC will come and defend it for us. Certain things would happen, in terms of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S access to state, spaces and domains. And people will feel like, it's normal. Right now, nobody knows what happens in cabinet. Nobody knows, because Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S can walk to cabinet. Now everybody says, why is his brother? Because we have allowed certain things to cross certain lines. We need to draw a clear line. He is your brother yesterday. Now he is our president. Your access to him and your relationship with him must remain private and must not be distorted for public view, such that it becomes normal. Normal that the state, sanctity in terms of access is become weakened, because we all as a country have come to associate the two of you acting on the national stage as one.
Okay. The other question I wanted to ask is, what should the state have done if not to use this jet?
What would the state have done?
What should they have done if they were not to use this jet? So you say they should not have gone here. Where should they have gone? How should they have handled this?
Well, it should have used the brother's flight. I don't understand the question.
I'm saying that the state had a problem, which they said they cannot use the private jet in its current condition to fly him.
Who said so? I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say you said so. I'm saying that
So
is
the
the reason
NDC,
for
say the
using
NDC,
this
so I
jet.
can answer your question
No,
properly.
I'm saying that the state says this is the situation. What alternative should they have deployed?
So what was the situation yesterday when Akufo-Addo was renting the private jet? This was the same situation. And they said that situation did not exist. They said that. They said that the Falcon was in pristine situation. They said so. But that Blackwell became overnight an aviation expert.
Mm.
So that situation they said didn't exist.
Yes, you made that point. Now I'm asking you.
No, I'm just telling you.
If they admit, if they admit that what you no. If they admit, let's say what you are saying is true. What should they have done?
It is true. No, but you asked them. We should have asked Honorable Husseini that question. That when they knew the Falcon was not in that shape to fly Akufo-Addo, they said you should use it.
No, they said you should have used a cheaper alternative.
So why not what you are flying? So you know the answer to your question.
So you think
they should have used a cheaper version if that cheap version exists.
Okay.
If that cheap version exists today,
is this jet not a cheaper option?
Using his brother's flight.
Is this not a cheaper option? What they are doing now?
Which I'm telling you that, Sena.
So it will be. Are you saying
possible conflict of interest situation? It's not a cheaper option.
Okay, so because of conflict of situation, because
we're not a broke state.
You are saying because of conflict of interest situation.
Yeah.
This, even if this cheaper alternative is available to us, let's leave it and go and look for another one.
What are you talking about?
That's what you are saying.
You can do this program from your house, right? You can do it from your house.
No, I don't have the equipment, do I? I don't have these equipments in my house. The equipments that they arrange for me to do this, I don't have them. So that comparison doesn't even come in at all. Does it?
No problem. Well, I'm telling you that with technology now, you can, with minimal adjustments, you can do this from your house. Okay? To the extent that Radio Gold wants you to come to the studio, it means that it's important for them. They will invest certain costs so you can come to the studio and do the program. If we are a state, and most especially today, we are told that our economy is booming. And our president is going to South Korea, not for luxury. He's going there to do important state business. It is incumbent on the state to provide him the safest way to get there. That safe way is not his brother's jet. Okay, it's not his brother's jet because that has potential higher cost for us, which is conflict of interest, which opens the door to all kinds of obscure deals and possibilities of people, blurring the lines between officialdom and familiar relationship that can actually affect, state interest, and then that ought to be guarded. And that's why we have the laws on conflict of interest. So I'm saying that while it will make sense for you to use your brother's jet, you are not just his brother. You are the president of the Republic of Ghana. So even though it's cheaper, that's not what you will use. And then at this point, even, we're only assuming it's cheaper because what are the real costs that went into that? We need to know.
But you can ask that.
It's even presumptuous to say that it is cheaper because it's not. We don't know.
In the lead in this discussion are your members of parliament. Have they tried to ask those questions of the cost? Because they haven't raised those questions. They can be answered.
It hasn't been addressed yet.
Okay.
Those matters have been raised.
Okay. So we'll get there.
I'm saying that we shouldn't even get there to normalize it. Because, see, what you need to understand is that, Sena, we are building a state.
Okay.
So this serves as precedent. Okay? Now, there are all sorts of questions about how Mr. Ibrahim came to buy the plane.
Oh, really? Because I thought...
Oh, yes. Okay. People are raising that. I'm not so much into raising that question, but I'm saying that people have raised that. And the reason people are raising that question... Hold on. The reason people are raising those questions is because his brother is in power. Okay? So that is the semblance of conflict of interest we're talking about, to say that because his brother is in power, he's getting certain liberties. And so if you reinforce that existing conception of people, that because your brother is in power now, you have access to whatever, his opportunity to the black voter deals and all of that. Now, when you have your assets being put at his disposal, you are further blaring and reinforcing those, suspicions. That's why it is important, even for Mr. Ibrahim Mahama'S own interest, to desist from this. It is in the interest of the president not to encourage those suspicions by taking, or allowing himself to be using his brother's property so people can say that they are working together. Remember, President Mahama in opposition. Citizens are saying that.
Mr. Ahiagba, we have to leave it here. We have to leave it here. Thank you.
You don't want me to make this important point?
No. In fact, we've been at this for quite a while. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Richard Ahiagba is Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party. Join us on the line. And I'm sure his point is that even if this is the cheaper alternative, because of the costs, because of conflict of interest, among others, the president should have avoided using this particular jet. So that's the position they have taken. There's even a question of how he even acquired the jet, among others. It's on record that Absa Bank has even put it on their Facebook page, their website, wherever you need to put it, that they have arranged the financing for this particular private jet. So which means that this is, so anyway, very interesting.